All right, man. I've been looking at Cam Reddish for some time. If I'm the Detroit Pistons, I trade whatever to move up and get Cam Reddish. I seen a few mock drafts, got him going like number 10 to the Atlanta Hawks. Let's talk about it. We back. Motor City Sports talking in the building. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell icon button. Won't miss another video. And I like Cam Reddish, bro. Like, man, I hear a lot of people got a lot of high praise for him on the high school circuit. And, and one thing I want to address, like sometimes college hurt some kids, man. And clearly at Duke, it hurt Cam Reddish, man. And it hurt Cam Reddish from this standpoint, all right? A couple standpoints. And I feel like the college game hurt Zion Williamson, too. And that might sound funny, right? But with the ability to play zone and be able to pack the paint and with the longer shot clock, it slows the game down. So college, hampers athletes that haven't developed a shot yet. It hampers the guys that are slashers and are off the dribble scorers. In college, that's why you get your VCU's always got a chance, and Princeton always got a chance, because the 3-pointer is the equalizer, and you can play zone and you can limit people's athletic ability. And from that standpoint, I feel like it hurt Cam Reddish and it hurt Zion. Not only that, but Cam Reddish used to being the number one option the last couple years in high school, and then being the third option at Duke, and really the fourth option outside of was it Tyrus Jones? I get him and his brother messed up. Tyrus Jones, he was really the fourth option. Tyrus Jones, if RJ wasn't handling the ball, Tyrus Jones had the ball. Tyrus Jones didn't have the ball, and RJ didn't have it. Then it was Zion Williamson that would have the ball. So Cam Reddish wasn't used to being the fourth fiddle. You know what I'm saying? As far as the ball handler, so they limited him to a spot up jump shooter. And a lot of the film that I've seen off Cam Reddish, he really likes to get it off the dribble and create for himself and get to the bucket. Yeah, he's a formidable shooter. He's a better shooter than Calvin Johnson from Kentucky. But really, that wasn't his role. And I feel like, the college that he picked, it was a bad decision to go there and make the dream team. He would have been better off going somewhere else and really showcasing his ability there. But then again, when you got a premier athlete like him, and a guy that can go get his own bucket, and you make him into a spot-up shooter, of course they're going to see him fall down the draft boards. But I think in the workouts, he should rise. And in my opinion, I would have him somewhere for me, I think he's the third best prospect on the board behind Ja Morant. I think he's the best in the draft. I know a lot of people may not agree with me. Jerry West agrees with me, so I don't sound so stupid. Then I got Zion, and then I believe Cam Reddish is the third best prospect. Now, some other good ones. Darius Garland from Vanderbilt. I'm not a fan of RJ Barrett. I don't trust Andrew Wiggins 1.5 or nothing really that comes out of Canada at this point. Anthony Bennett. So many trash players that came out of Canada. I don't know what's going on up there. You got the other kid too from Virginia. And you got the kid from Texas Tech. That's a good defender. You got Gillingsley Alexander, his cousin from Virginia Tech. He's somewhere down there in the top 15 as well, too. Bola. I love Tyler Hero. I love a lot of these dudes. P.J. Washington, I'm looking at him right now from Kentucky. But Cam Reddish, I think Cam Reddish got the potential to possibly be the best player in the draft. I hear a lot of the high school kids say he was the hardest guy to guard, and he from Philly. Now, he could give you that Ben McLemore type of shit, where Ben McLemore is supposed to be the hottest thing coming out of St. Louis since Larry Hughes. And obviously that ended up being Jason Tatum. And Ben McLemore just didn't, he just didn't produce shit coming out of Kansas. So at the end of the day, where there's a boom, where there's a high boom, there's always the potential for there's always a high bust. But for some reason, I feel like Cam Reddish is what the Pistons need. They need somebody that can go out there and get a bucket. Somebody that can get it off the dribble. I'm not so concerned about getting a premier shooter right now. I think, if you get guys that work hard, that can develop a shot like Calvin Johnson, like Cam Reddish, and they both got the size and the athletic ability to get out there and defend. And like I said in my video about Calvin Johnson, you get two premier defenders like Bruce Brown and Calvin Johnson, or potential premier defenders in Johnson and Cam Reddish. I think you got something special going on there. And then they can develop offense. You can develop. I think Bruce Brown needs to develop a 10 to 15 footer, just like Giannis Antetokounmpo needs to develop a 10 to 15 footer in a floater. I think the same thing. I think Cam Reddish has shown ability to extend his range, to the NBA 3-point land, and he's able to get it off the dribble. And I think his percentages will go up. So you need a guy that can go get a bucket when need be. Blake can get you a bucket, but Blake don't look as fluid or as comfortable as Cam Reddish do when he going off the dribble and attacking the bucket. Now, if you're looking for a premier defender, you can see where you at and get Tyler Hero, and he can really shoot, and people kind of skeptical of him because he white. You know, people like, oh, Luke Kennard, you know, he wasn't aggressive, but Tyler Hero, he can get out there and defend. You know, he can defend. He ain't no unathletic white boy. He can defend, he can shoot, and he can attack. And he's dealt with adversity coming out of Wisconsin, switching to Kentucky, and them egging his car and then sending them death threats. So ain't no more pressure than somebody putting potential into your life. You know what I'm saying? But like I said before, if I'm the Pistons, I'm trading up whatever for Cam Reddish. I feel that he that type of prospect, man. I know it's only potentially 5 to 8 spots you have to move up. But if, you know, the Atlanta Hawks wanted Andre Drummond, I would tell you Andre Drummond is my pick for Cam Reddish. You know what? I would be hesitant to trade Blake Griffin to Atlanta for that pick. But you know what? I would do it as well, too. That's how high I am on Cam Reddish personally. Okay? This is how high I am on him. And also, everybody knows my agenda is to clear the cap for the Pistons to rebuild. And by the time Milwaukee and Toronto fall off, then, you know, we'll be on the rise. That's just my agenda. Don't say it, don't make it right, don't make it wrong. It's my perspective. But I do know with Blake Griffin, Reggie Jackson, and Andre Drummond being your 3 best players, you're missing playoffs next year. You know what I'm saying? I'm hearing Kyrie like Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? Like Kawhi ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Giannis, he ain't going nowhere. They got to bring back Chris Middleton. So if KD coming to the Knicks or go to the Nets, I mean, that puts you out the play. I mean, that potentially could put you out the playoffs if you go to the Knicks, because the Nets are gonna be there next year regardless. You know, so that's my whole thing. And Atlanta Hawks ain't do nothing to get better. You know, you put Trae Young, Cam Reddish, and John Collins in there. I mean, they're gonna be a good team regardless. You know, so they're gonna come. They're gonna learn to win. Not sure they're gonna be a playoff team next year, but they're gonna be a threat. Chicago, they're gonna be the team to be a threat next year if they don't do nothing stupid. But I just feel like Cam Reddish, you know, he got superstar potential, at least all-star potential. I think he could be one of the top 15 or 10 best players in the NBA one day. I feel that John Morant could be one of the best players and best guards in the NBA one day. I feel Zion Williamson can be the face of the NBA if he keep his weight under control. That's what I'm concerned about him with, and him being positionless. If he had a position and he was 6'9", 6'10", then yeah, I'd be like, okay. And I had to worry about his weight, I would give him a nod. But the way the NBA is going to a guards league, and Steph Curry and James Harden is changing that, and he's going to a guards wing league and a ball handler league, you need an elite ball handler. You need an elite wing. And then he can defend when he want to. When you teach him to be a good defender and commit on defensive end, you got a 2-way player right there. At worst case scenario, you know, you got somebody that can defend their position. And that's a rarity in the NBA. Not too many players can defend their position. It's a lot of cross-checking. If he can, you know, develop and capture that magic that he had in high school before, Duke railroaded him, you know, I think it's cool. Now, I know a lot of people that you like, oh, man, I know you ain't high on Duke players. I'm not high on Duke players at all coming out. I'm not. But Cam Reddish, I don't really think he got a fair shot at Duke due to the circumstances. He was the 4th option, to be honest, behind the point guard Jones and RJ and Zion. So, you know, that's where I'm at with it, man. I'm willing to trade whatever for the young boy, to move up to get him. If I'm the Pistons, that's what I'm doing, man. And in the process, you would clear cap room. I'm pretty sure Atlanta got some cap to take on. They need a guy like Andre Drummond. You know, what we going to do about centers? Shit, pray. Shit, Thon Maker better get in the weight room. You know what I'm saying? You know, Thon Maker better get in the weight room. But that's just how I'm rocking. You know, maybe you get Alex Lynn or Deadman back or somebody like that. But Cam Reddish, I think, going to be special, man. I may be in a very, very minority, and I ain't sitting here speaking to you like I'm this NBA super prophet, all right? I'm just saying that I'll trade whatever for Cam Reddish. Yeah, that's how I'm rocking. I'm trading whatever for him. If it come down, they want Blake, shit, see you later, Blake. You on your way out. You on your last leg anyway. You like a table from the Salvation Army, from the thrifty store. You on your last leg anyway. His ass to be in my in my Uncle Railway voice, gone. But I appreciate everybody for checking in, man. Let me know what you guys think. Blessings to all you guys out there this Sunday. Hopefully everybody have a happy Memorial Day. Salute to all the veterans that fell for our freedom, man. But hey, we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out to the email if need be. Want to make a donation? That link's in the description. Best way to donate: share. All my information, intro, instrumental, the whole nine is in the description. One time.